SR Class 3 Sub. The Class 3 SUB were DC suburban electric multiple units introduced by the London and South Western Railway in 1915 and introduced by the Southern Railway in the period up to 1939. The class designation 3 SUB was not used by the Southern Railway, although some authors refer to these units as re-SUB. When rebuilt to 4 cars in the 1940s, they became Class 4 SUB. Background: the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway LVSC was the first of the 3 major companies that were to form the Southern Railway to electrify some of its lines in London. The lines were electrified at 6.7 kV 25 HCAC, using overhead supply. Public services began on 1 December 1909. The London and South Western Railway LSWR electrified its lines on the Third Rail DC system. Public services began on 25 October 1915. In 1922, the South Eastern and Chatham Railway SECO sought permission to electrify certain lines in London. On 1 January 1923, the LSBC, LSWR and SECO were merged into the Southern Railway SR. LSWR electric multiple units and trailer sets. 84 electric multiple units, numbered EON E84, were constructed in 1913 by converting steam-hauled carriages which had been built from 1904 for suburban service. The conversions being carried out at EC Works. Each multiple unit comprised 2 motor coaches and a trailer. The units were either 157-foot or 159-foot long, depending on whether a 49-foot or 51-foot trailer was included. The units weighed 95 tons. They seated between 172 and 190 people in first and third class. These were the first trains on the LSWR not to offer second-class accommodation. Electrical equipment was by the British Westinghouse Company. Each motor carriage had 2 275 HP electric motors. In 1914, 24 two-coach trailer units were constructed at EC to work with the multiple units. Each comprised an 8-compartment and a 9-compartment carriage. The trailer sets were either 105-foot or 107-foot long and weighed 46 tons. They were third class only. The SR numbered the electric multiple units 1201-84 and the trailer sets 1001-24. In 1933, 8 units were transferred to work local services to. First class accommodation was reduced to 24, whilst third class was increased to 160. These units returned to London in 1934 and regained their original configuration on the introduction of the 2 NOL units. In 1934, some of these units were rebuilt. The motor carriages were given new underframes in Lincoln. New motor and unpowered bogies supplied. As rebuilt, they were 193 FT long. They seated 56 first class and 180 third class passengers. Weights varied between 109 and 114 tons. SR electric multiple units and trailer sets. These units were built by the SR. Most of the units and trailer sets were converted from steam-hauled carriages. Sets 989-1000. 2-coach trailer sets converted in 1937-38. 1 carriage was a 10-compartment XLSWR carriage. Each set was 121 foot long and weighed 51 tons. A total of 51 suburban electric vehicles were destroyed by enemy action during WW2. Sets 1025-37. 2-coach trailer sets converted in 1925 from XLBSC 9-compartment bogie third carriages. Used with units 1285-1000, 310. Each set was 115 foot long and weighed 50 tons. They seated 180 third class passengers. Sets 1038-1050. 2-coach trailer sets converted in 1934. Sets 1051-1000, 120. 2-coach trailer sets converted in 1925 from XLBSC 9-compartment bogie third carriages. Used with units 1401-95 and 1525-34. Each set was 115 foot long and weighed 50 tons. They seated 180 third class passengers. Sets 1121-67. 2 coach trailer sets converted in 1928 for use on Eastern Section services. Each set comprised an XLSWR 11-compartment carriage and an Exeter 8-compartment carriage. Each set was 113 foot long and weighed 49 tons. They seated 190 third-class passengers. Sets 1168-80, 1187. 2 coach trailer sets converted in 1928 from XLBSC carriages, incorporating underframes from XCP motor carriages. Each set was 115 foot long and weighed 50 tons. They seated 190 third-class passengers. Sets 1181-86. 2 coach trailer sets converted in 1929-30 from XLBSC carriages. Each set was 113 foot long and weighed 49 tons. Sets 1188-94. 2 coach trailer sets converted in 1934. Sets 1195-1000, 198. 2 coach trailer sets converted in 1934 from XLSWR carriages. Each set was 129 foot long and weighed 54 tons. They seated 190 third-class passengers. Sets 1199-1000, 200. 2 coach trailer sets converted in 1937-38. One carriage was a 10-compartment XLSWR carriage. Each set was 121 foot long and weighed 51 tons. Units 1285-1000, 310. 3 coach units built new in 1925 for Waterloo to Guildford via Cobham services. The motor carriages were built by the Metropolitan Carriage Wagon and Finance Company Limited, and the trailers were built by the Birmingham Railway Carriage and Wagon Company Limited. All vehicles had steel panels on a teak frame. Electrical equipment was by Metropolitan Vickers Electrical Co. Limited. Each unit was 181 foot long and weighed 105 tons. They seated 28 first and 120 third-class passengers. Units 1401-95 and 1525-34. 3 coach units converted from Exeter 4 and 6 wheel carriages at Ashford Works and Brighton Works. Electric motors were by Dick, Garrett and Company Limited, rated at 300 HP. Each unit was 193 foot long and weighed 108 tons. They seated 56 first and 180 third-class passengers. Units 1496-1000, 524. 3 coach units built new for use on Eastern Section services. The motor carriages were built by the Metropolitan Carriage Wagon and Finance Company Limited, and the trailers were built by the Birmingham Railway Carriage and Wagon Company Limited. All vehicles had steel panels on a teak frame. Electric motors were by Dick, Care and Company Limited, rated at 300 HP. Each unit was 193 foot long and weighed 109 tons. They seated 56 first and 180 third-class passengers. Units 1579-84. 3 coach units converted in 1937 from XLSWR Bogie carriages. Electrical equipment was by Metropolitan Vickers Electrical Co. Limited. Motors were rated at 275 HP, fitted with electro-pneumatic control gear. Each unit was 193 foot long and weighed 112 tons. Units 1593-99. 3 coach units converted in 1934-35 from XLSWR Bogie carriages. Each unit was 193 foot long and weighed 109 tons. Units 1601-13. 3 coach units converted in 1928 from Exeter Bogie carriages. Electrical equipment was by Metropolitan Vickers Electrical Co. Limited. Motors were rated at 275 HP. Each unit was 193 foot long and weighed 108 tons. They seated 56 first and 180 third-class passengers. Units 1631-57. 3 coach units converted in 1928 from XLBSC Bogie carriages. Electrical equipment was by Metropolitan Vickers Electrical Co. Limited. Motors were rated at 275 HP. Each unit was 193 foot long and weighed 104 tons. Units 1658-1000, 701. 3 coach units converted in 1928 from XLSWR Burgee carriages. Each unit was 193 foot long and weighed 108 tons. Electrical equipment was by Metropolitan Vickers Electrical Co. Limited. Motors were rated at 275 HP. They seated 56 first and 180 third class passengers. Units 1702-72. 3 coach units converted in 1928 from ex-LBSE Burgee carriages. Units 1770-70 were converted from the overhead electric units formerly used on the ex-LBSE lines. Each unit was 193 foot long and weighed 104 tons. Electrical equipment was by Metropolitan Vickers Electrical Co. Limited. Motors were rated at 275 HP. Units 1773-85. 3 coach units converted in 1930 from ex-LSWR Burgee carriages. Each unit was 193 foot long and weighed 110 tons. Electrical equipment was by Metropolitan Vickers Electrical Co. Limited. Motors were rated at 275 HP. They seated 56 first and 180 third class passengers. Units 1786-96. 3 coach units converted in 1928 from XLSWR 6-wheel carriages. Each unit was 193 foot long and weighed 110 tons. Electrical equipment was by Metropolitan Vickers Electrical Co. Limited. Motors were rated at 275 HP. They seated 56 first and 180 third class passengers. Units 1797-1801. 3 coach units converted in 1930 from ex-LBSE Burgee carriages. Electrical equipment was by Metropolitan Vickers Electrical Co. Limited. Motors were rated at 275 HP. Each unit was 193 foot long and weighed 104 tons. Unit 1801 was renumbered 1600 in April 1934. Units 1901-8. Units 1909-12. Class 4 SUB. From 1942, Units 1201-84, the LSWR built units gained an additional XLSWR trailer of 10 or 11 compartments. Those that gained a 10-compartment carriage were renumbered 4131-71. They were 256 foot long, weighed 139 tons and seated 353 people. Those that gained an 11-compartment carriage were renumbered 4195-4234. They were 257 foot long, weighed 139 tons and seated 350 people. In 1945, Units 1285-1000, each gained a new 10-compartment trailer and were renumbered 4325. They were 245 foot long, weighed 133 tons and seated 350 people. In 1945-46, Units 1496-1000, 524 each gained a new 10-compartment trailer and were renumbered 4326-54. They were 257 foot long, weighed 137 tons and seated 370 people. All other 3 car units also gained a new trailer between 1946 and 1948. They were renumbered 4401-4000, 594, 4601-8, and 4630-14. Weights varied between 132 and 140 tons, and they could seat between 358 and 370 people. Units 4111-30 and 4364-76 were built new in 1946 and as 47. British Railways built further batches, 4277-99 in 1948, -49, 4621-59 in 1949, 4653-4709 in 1950, and 4710-54 in 1951. Departmental service. Unit 1782, which became Unit 4579 when reformed as a 4 SUB, was withdrawn from passenger service in 1956. It reverted to 3 carriages and entered departmental service as an instruction unit, numbered Sten S. 1 carriage was converted to provide lecture and projection facilities. Later renumbered 53, the unit was withdrawn in December 1975. Accidents and incidents. On 9 July 1928, Unit 1702 was severely damaged in a side-on collision with Beatware X-Class locomotive No. Beatware 110 after the driver of Beatware 110 misread signals. 2 people were killed and 9 were injured, 6 seriously. On 19 April 1934, Unit 1790 was run into at London Bridge, severely damaging a motor coach. A replacement was converted from an XLSWR carriage. On 2 April 1937, Units 1473 and 1615 were amongst those involved in a rear-end collision due to misuse of the Sykes lock and blocked by a signalman. 10 people were killed and 80 were injured. A motor carriage in each unit was written off. Replacements were converted from XLSWR carriages. On 13 August 1937, an accident damaged trailer set 1152. Its X-Secker carriage was consequently replaced by an XLBSC9 compartment carriage. On 4 November 1942, 2 trains formed of suburban electric stock were involved in a collision due to misuse of the Sykes lock and block by the signalman. 2 people were killed and at least 1 was injured. On 24 October 1947, 2 electric multiple unit trains were involved in a rear-end collision due to misuse of the Sykes lock and block by the signalman. The first train was of mainline stock, which was run into by a train formed of 2 3-car units. A total of 32 people were killed and 183 were injured. Wartime losses. 51 suburban electric carriages were destroyed by enemy action during WW2. Incidents where vehicles were destroyed or severely damaged include 1940 on 16 August, a bomb near severely damaged 2 carriages, with 11 others also being damaged. Units involved were 1131, 1145, 1237, 1476 and 1560-17. On 8 September 1940, an incendiary bomb at Victoria destroyed 3 carriages and damaged 2 others from Units 1129 and 1448. 11 carriages were damaged at Wimbledon carriage sidings, including those from Units 1115, 1226, 1413, 1474 and 1707. An incendiary bomb caused the destruction of 2 carriages and damaged 3 more from Units 1454 and 1802. On 19 September, a trailer set was destroyed at. On 14 October, the carriage sheds at Selhurst were bombed. 6 vehicles were destroyed, 2 severely damaged and 10 others were also damaged. Units affected include 1009, 1044, 1139, 1170, 1184, 1259, 1426 and 1785. On 18 October, Unit 1283 was bombed at. 1 vehicle was destroyed, another severely damaged. On 19 October, a train was bombed at Durnsford Road, Wimbledon, destroying 1 carriage, severely damaging another and causing damage to the other 6. Units involved were 1439 and 1530. The identity of the trailer set is unknown. On 25 October, the carriage sheds that were bombed. 3 vehicles were destroyed. Units involved included 1473, 1501 and 1745. On 30 October, an incendiary bomb damaged 3 units at Selhurst Depot, destroying 1 carriage and damaging the other 8. Units involved were 1259, 1414 and 1618. On 4 November, a bomb brought down the footbridge onto a suburban train. 2 carriages were severely damaged. 1941 on 17 April, incendiary bombs dropped at Charing Cross set 4 train on fire, destroying 4 carriages and severely damaging 2 others. Units involved included 1612 and 1722. On 25 April, a bomb at Lancing Works destroyed 1 carriage and severely damaged the other 2 of Unit 1305. On 11 May, a bomb destroyed 1 carriage and severely damaged the other 2 of Unit 1799. 1942 on 30 September, 2 carriages were severely damaged and 16 others were also damaged at Lancing Works. Units involved included 1256, 1485, 1507 and 1776. 1944 on 4 February, 2 carriages were destroyed and 34 damaged at Slade Green. Units involved included 1006, 1139, 1168, 1230, 1251, 1286, 1433, 1484, 1502, 1621, 1683, 1729, 1741 and 1788. On 24 February, a train was bombed at Loco JN. 1 carriage was destroyed, 4 severely damaged, and the other 3 were damaged. Units involved were 1061, 1702 and 1784. On 17 June, a fragmentation bomb severely damaged 3 vehicles at 5 other vehicles were also damaged. Units involved included 1509 and 1740. On 18 June, a fragmentation bomb at Charing Cross severely damaged 1 vehicle and damaged 6 others. Units involved were 1104, 1293 and 1746. On 23 June, a fragmentation bomb had destroyed 1 carriage, severely damaged a second and damaged 28 others. Units involved included 126, 1031, 1065, 1180, 1434, 1527, 1529, 1621, 1628, 16,401,679, 1704 and 1799. On 30 June, a fragmentation bomb destroyed 3 carriages and damaged 5 others at Wimbledon Park sidings. Units involved included 1598 and 1692. On 4 July, fragmentation bombs severely damaged 2 carriages and damaged 74 others at Wimbledon Park sidings. Amongst the units involved were 1278 and 1496. On 7 July, fragmentation bombs severely damaged 22 carriages and damaged 19 others at 8 trailer sets, and 4 suburban units were amongst the casualties. On 14 July, a fragmentation bomb severely damaged 3 carriages and damaged 11 others at Selhurst. Units affected were 1079, 1186, 1413, 1629, 1715 and 1733. On 26 October, a fragmentation bomb destroyed 3 carriages, severely damaged 5 and slightly damaged 5 more near. Units involved were 1023, 1267, 1268 and 1793. On 1 November, a V-2 rocket severely damaged 2 carriages and damaged 18 others near. Units involved included 1193, 1466 and 1668. On 25 November, 2 carriages of Unit 1138 were wrecked by a V-2 rocket at New Crossgate. 1945 on 6 January, 2 carriages were destroyed, 7 were severely damaged and 11 others were damaged by a V-2 rocket at Peckham Rye. Units involved included 1065, 1109, 1427 and 1428.